Welcome to your Health Facts podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about stem cells and specifically how certain foods can naturally boost their activity. Stem cells, they're kind of like the body's internal repair and rejuvenation system,
Hmm?
and they really play a vital role in, maintaining our overall well-being.
Yeah, food choices can have a direct impact on how our stem cells actually function. So there are certain foods that can actually stimulate the growth of stem cells, while other foods trigger inflammation, which unfortunately hinders their function. And, a really crucial aspect of stem cell production is gut health.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So to give you an idea of just how important the gut is in this whole process, did you know that 10% of our blood cells actually originate from intestinal stem cells?
Wow, 10%. That's pretty significant.
It is. It really highlights the significant role that the gut plays in producing those vital blood components. But here's the thing, when inflammation is present in the gut, it can actually impede the function of those stem cells, leading to issues like anemia. And this can happen even without any blood loss.
That's interesting because, we often think of anemia as being linked to blood loss. But you're saying that inflammation in the gut can actually cause it too.
Exactly. And the tricky part is that this inflammation often goes undetected because it's not always something that we can see or feel.
So how do we even know if there's inflammation in our gut?
Well, there's a marker called fecal calprotectin that can actually indicate the level of inflammatory activity in the gut.
Fecal calprotectin. Okay, I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, it's not exactly a dinner table conversation topic,
Mhm.
but it's an important one because elevated calprotectin levels have been linked to a number of conditions, like inflammatory bowel disease, appendicitis, and even allergies.
So what kind of foods can trigger these increased calprotectin levels?
Well, some common culprits include lactose, which is found in dairy products, histamines, which are present in things like fermented foods, and fructose from sugary treats.
So it sounds like what we eat can really have a big impact on the level of inflammation in our gut. And that, in turn, can affect our stem cell activity.
Exactly. And when we consistently consume foods that promote inflammation, we're essentially putting our immune system into a state of overdrive.
Like a constant state of alert.
Yeah. And this ongoing inflammation can eventually lead to the breakdown of tissues. And it often starts with the delicate lining of the gut, which acts as a barrier between our internal environment and the trillions of microorganisms that make up our gut microbiome.
The gut microbiome.
Mm.
That's something we hear a lot about these days. What role does it play in all of this?
Well, think of the gut lining as a kind of border control for our bodies. It helps to keep things in check and maintain balance. But when that barrier is compromised by inflammation, the gut microbiome can become imbalanced, which can potentially lead to a whole cascade of health issues.
So it's not just about what we eat affecting our digestion,
Right.
but it can actually have much broader implications for our overall health.
Exactly. And this connection between skin health and internal inflammation is something that's often overlooked.
What do you mean by that?
Well, the outer layer of our skin, it actually reflects what's happening inside our bodies. So while external skincare routines can help to mask inflammation, they don't address the root cause.
So you're saying that taking care of our gut health is important not just for our digestion, but also for our skin.
Absolutely. And often our internal tissues actually age faster than our external ones because they're constantly exposed to the stress of digestion and to the toxins that we encounter in our environment.
It makes sense when you put it that way.
Yeah.
So it's like we need to provide our internal skin with the same kind of care that we give to our external skin.
Exactly. Like if
Yeah.
you have a cut on your skin, you would clean it, apply some cream, and put a bandage on it, right?
Right.
Well, we need to think about providing that same level of care to our internal skin through the foods that we choose to eat.
So let's dive into those foods. What are some of the top contenders when it comes to boosting stem cell activity?
Absolutely. Let's explore that.
Okay, so first up, we have papayas. These tropical fruits are not only delicious, but they're also packed with antioxidants and enzymes.
And a particularly powerful enzyme found in papayas is called papain.
Papain. Okay, I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's really good at breaking down proteins, which can aid in digestion and reduce inflammation. Some studies even suggest that papain may offer pain relief due to its anti-inflammatory properties.
So it sounds like papayas are kind of like a multitasker when it comes to supporting our health.
Definitely, they're a great addition to any diet.
Okay, next up we have almonds. But not just any almonds. It's important to consume them with their skin intact.
That's right, because the skin of almonds contains a wealth of nutrients, including antioxidants and fiber. It also plays a crucial role in protecting the almond's delicate fats from rancidity.
Rancidity, what exactly does that mean?
Well, when fats become rancid, they oxidize. Think of it like a potato chip that's been left out in the air for too long. It starts to taste stale and loses its appeal.
Oh, yeah, I know that taste.
Well, the same thing can happen to the fats in almonds if they're not protected by their skin. So by consuming almonds with their skin on, you're ensuring that you're getting the full nutritional benefit.
That makes a lot of sense. So next on our list, we have cranberries, particularly fresh or frozen cranberries, without any added sugar.
Cranberries are renowned for their abundance of polyphenols, which are powerful antioxidants that offer a range of health benefits. But the way cranberries are processed and whether or not sugar is added can significantly impact their nutritional value.
So you're saying that canned cranberries and dried cranberries aren't as good for us?
Well, canned cranberries, while convenient, undergo extensive processing that can diminish some of their beneficial compounds.
I see.
And dried cranberries, which are often marketed as a healthy snack, are frequently loaded with added sugar, which negates many of their health benefits.
So if we want to harness the full power of cranberries, it's best to stick with fresh or frozen varieties without added sugar.
Exactly. Those are the most natural and nutrient-rich forms.
Okay, so moving on to another type of berry. We have wild blueberries. Now, I know blueberries in general are considered to be a superfood, but what makes wild blueberries so special?
Well, wild blueberries are the unsung heroes of the berry world. They have this exceptional antioxidant capacity, particularly when it comes to anthocyanins.
Anthocyanins. Those are the pigments that give blueberries their vibrant color.
Right, exactly. And anthocyanins have been linked to a number of health benefits, including enhanced stem cell function and a healthier stem cell environment. And what makes wild blueberries stand out even more is their high skin-to-fruit ratio.
So the smaller the berry, the more skin it has.
Precisely. And that means a greater concentration of those beneficial anthocyanins. And wild blueberries have also been shown to have neuroprotective properties, suggesting that they could play a role in improving mental health and memory.
Wow, so they're good for our bodies and our brains.
That's right. They're a nutritional powerhouse.
Okay, so next on our list, we have broccoli, a cruciferous vegetable that's widely recognized for its health benefits. But today we're specifically highlighting broccoli sprouts. Why are they so special?
Well, broccoli sprouts are an incredibly rich source of sulforaphane, which is a compound that's been shown to support the glutathione redox system.
Glutathione redox system. That sounds complicated.
It is a complex system, but essentially it acts as the body's natural defense against oxidative stress. And sulforaphane plays a key role in boosting that defense system.
So it's like broccoli sprouts are giving our bodies extra ammunition to fight off damage.
Exactly. And to maximize the amount of sulforaphane we get from broccoli sprouts, it's important to prepare them properly. Massaging or chopping them before we eat them actually activates the release of key molecules that trigger the formation of sulforaphane.
So it's not just about what we eat, but also how we prepare it.
Absolutely. Preparation can make a big difference in the nutritional value of our food.
Okay, so next up we have matcha green tea. This vibrant green elixir has become incredibly popular in recent years. But what makes it so special for stem cell health?
Well, matcha is made from shade-grown green tea leaves, which results in a higher concentration of chlorophyll and EGCG. Both of these compounds have been shown to promote stem cell growth and protect against cellular damage.
Chlorophyll. That's the pigment that gives plants the green color.
Right. Exactly. It's essential for photosynthesis, and it's been linked to a variety of health benefits in humans as well.
And EGCG. That stands for epigallocatechin gallate.
Right. You got it. It's a powerful antioxidant that's found in green tea, and it's been studied extensively for its potential health benefits. And the traditional method of preparing matcha by whisking the powder with hot water creates this frothy beverage that's rich in antioxidants and has a unique flavor profile.
It's interesting how the way we prepare our food can really enhance its nutritional value.
Absolutely. And it's important to note that not all matcha is created equal. Green tea and matcha can sometimes contain heavy metals due to environmental factors. So it's crucial to choose reputable brands that have undergone rigorous testing for heavy metal contamination.
So we can enjoy the benefits of matcha without any unintended risks.
Exactly. It's all about making informed choices.
Okay? Moving on to a more unique food source, we have bamboo shoots.
Yes, bamboo shoots are actually a surprising source of stem cell stimulation, even for hair follicles.
Wow, I never would have guessed that.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable. And when you think about it, it makes sense. Bamboo grows at an incredible rate, and it has this diverse range of uses, from food to sustainable building materials, and it's also the primary food source for giant pandas. So there's clearly something special about its nutritional profile.
It definitely piques my curiosity. I'm going to have to try bamboo shoots more often.
I encourage you to. They're a delicious and nutritious addition to any diet.
Okay. So up next we have Chinese celery. It's a flavorful stalk that has a long history of use in traditional Chinese medicine, but what makes it so special for stem cell health?
Well, Chinese celery contains a unique compound called NBP, and this compound has shown promising results in stimulating human stem cells, including those in the brain.
That's fascinating. So it could potentially benefit our cognitive function.
Exactly. It's thought to enhance blood flow and protect neurons from damage, which could contribute to improved brain health. And while more research is needed to fully understand its mechanisms, the traditional use of Chinese celery in promoting health and longevity suggests that it may hold valuable insights for supporting stem cell activity.
So it's a food with a rich history and potentially a bright future.
Indeed, it's definitely worth exploring.
Okay. So our penultimate food on the list is mustard greens, another member of the cruciferous family like broccoli, which means they're also rich in sulforaphane.
That's right. And sulforaphane, as we've discussed, is a powerful compound that supports the glutathione redox system and helps to protect our cells from oxidative stress. But mustard greens have a more distinct and often bitter flavor compared to other cruciferous vegetables.
So that bitterness is actually a good sign.
Exactly. It's often an indicator of a higher concentration of beneficial compounds.
Okay. And last but certainly not least, we have dark chocolate. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be happy to hear this one, but is dark chocolate really good for our stem cells?
It can be, but it's important to choose wisely. When we talk about dark chocolate for health benefits, we're talking about high-quality dark chocolate that has a high percentage of cocoa beans and minimal added sugar and fat.
So not just any chocolate bar will do.
Definitely. The quality matters.
Yeah.
And the reason dark chocolate can be beneficial for stem cells is that cocoa beans are rich in flavonols.
Flavonols, those are a type of antioxidant.
Right? Yes. And they've been linked to improved blood circulation and the stimulation of stem cell growth factors. And one thing to keep in mind when choosing dark chocolate is that it shouldn't be excessively bitter.
So if it's too bitter, that's not a good sign.
Not necessarily. It could mean that the cocoa beans have been over-roasted, which can actually compromise their nutritional value.
So it's all about finding that sweet spot.
Absolutely. The right balance of flavor and nutritional value.
Well, this has been a fascinating exploration of stem cell boosting foods. It seems like there are so many delicious and nutritious options available to us.
There really are.
Yeah.
And by incorporating these foods into our diets, we can nourish our bodies and support stem cell health from the inside out.
It's all about giving our bodies the tools they need to thrive.
Exactly. And remember, food is not merely about sustenance. It's about providing our bodies with the essential building blocks for regeneration, repair, and overall well-being.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And for our listeners who want to learn more about healthy living and explore other ways to support their well-being, be sure to subscribe to yourhealthfacts.com.
Let's talk a little bit more about almonds, specifically the difference between like a fresh almond right out of the shell versus one of those pre-packaged, blanched almonds.
Yeah.
Because the skin, which is often discarded in commercial processing, it actually holds a ton of nutrients, antioxidants, fiber, and it also acts as like a protective barrier for the almond's fats, prevents them from going rancid.
So that's why it's so important to eat almonds with their skin on.
Exactly. It really makes a difference in the nutritional value.
Okay, so we've talked about papayas and almonds. What about cranberries? They're known for being really good for you. But is there anything we should be aware of?
Cranberries are packed with polyphenols, which are amazing antioxidants. But processing and added sugar can really affect how much benefit we're actually getting.
I see.
Like canned cranberries, while they're super convenient, they go through a lot of processing, which might reduce some of the good stuff. And dried cranberries, which a lot of people think are a healthy snack, they're often loaded with sugar, which kind of defeats the purpose.
So fresh or frozen is the way to go.
Yeah, if you want to get the most out of cranberries, that's definitely the best way.
Okay, so we've covered cranberries. Let's talk about another type of berry. Wild blueberries. They seem to be getting a lot of attention these days. What makes them stand out from regular blueberries?
Wild blueberries are like the rock stars of the berry world. They have an incredible amount of antioxidants, especially anthocyanins, the pigments that give blueberries their color. And they've been linked to better stem cell function and a healthier stem cell environment.
Makes sense.
And what makes wild blueberries even more special is that they have a higher skin-to-fruit ratio.
Meaning?
The smaller the berry, the more skin it has. And that means more anthocyanins.
Oh, I get it.
Plus, wild blueberries have shown some promising results in terms of brain health. They seem to have neuroprotective properties, which could mean they're good for our memory and mental well-being.
Wow, so they're like a double whammy. Good for the body and the brain.
Pretty much.
Okay. So moving on to something green,
Mm.
we have broccoli, which is obviously very healthy, but we're focusing specifically on broccoli sprouts. What makes them so special?
Broccoli sprouts are a fantastic source of sulforaphane, which is a compound that helps boost our body's defense system against oxidative stress,
And that is,
basically the damage that happens to our cells over time. And sulforaphane helps by supporting the glutathione redox system.
yeah.
It's a bit complicated,
Right.
but think of it like a cleanup crew for our bodies. That gets rid of all the harmful stuff.
Yeah.
And to get the most sulforaphane out of broccoli sprouts, it's important to massage them or chop them up before eating. That activates the release of certain molecules that help create sulforaphane.
So it's not just about what we eat, but how we prepare it too.
Exactly. The way we handle our food can make a big difference.
Okay. Now, for a drink that's become incredibly popular, matcha green tea. What's the deal with it?
Matcha is made from shade-grown green tea leaves, which means it has more chlorophyll and EGCG,
And
compounds that have been shown to be really good for stem cells. It can help them grow and protect them from damage.
Interesting.
And traditionally, matcha is prepared by whisking the powder with hot water, which creates this beautiful, frothy drink that's full of antioxidants.
Sounds delicious.
It is. But it's important to be mindful of where your matcha comes from. Green tea and matcha can sometimes contain heavy metals because of the environment they're grown in.
So we need to be careful about the brands we choose.
Exactly. Look for reputable brands that have been tested for heavy metals. That way you can enjoy all the benefits of matcha without any worries.
Okay, so we've covered quite a few foods already. Let's move on to something a little more unique. Bamboo shoots. They're not something you see on every grocery list, but they sound fascinating.
Yeah, bamboo shoots, they're pretty amazing. They can actually stimulate stem cells, even those in hair follicles.
Really? I never would have guessed that. What makes them so special?
Well, bamboo itself is a pretty remarkable plant. It grows incredibly fast and has so many uses, from food to building materials. And it's the main food source for giant pandas, so, it must be packed with nutrients.
It definitely seems like a food worth exploring. I'll have to try it more often.
I think you'd enjoy it. It's got a nice crunchy texture and a subtle flavor. It can be added to stir fries, soups, and salads.
Sounds delicious.
Oh.
Okay, next up we have Chinese celery. It's not as common as regular celery, but I've heard it has some impressive health benefits.
Yeah, Chinese celery is interesting. It contains this compound called NBP, and studies have shown that NBP can stimulate human stem cells, including those in the brain.
Wow, so it could potentially be good for cognitive function?
Exactly. It's thought to enhance blood flow to the brain and protect neurons from damage, which could have implications for memory learning and overall brain health.
That's pretty amazing. So it's not just good for our bodies, but also for our minds.
It seems that way. It's definitely a food with a lot of potential.
Okay, so we're nearing the end of our list. Second to last, we have mustard greens,
Mhm.
another member of the cruciferous family, like broccoli and Brussels sprouts.
That's right. And like other cruciferous vegetables, mustard greens are also rich in sulforaphane, which we've already talked about. It's that powerful compound that supports the glutathione redox system and protects our cells from damage.
So even though they might have a bit of a bitter taste, they're worth adding to our plates.
Absolutely. The bitterness is actually a good sign. It indicates a higher concentration of those beneficial compounds.
Okay, and for our final stem cell boosting food, we have a real treat, dark chocolate. Who doesn't love a little bit of chocolate?
Chocolate can actually be good for you, but there are a few things to keep in mind. First, you want to choose high-quality dark chocolate with a high percentage of cocoa beans and minimal added sugar and fat.
So not all chocolate is created equal.
Definitely. The quality matters, and the reason dark chocolate can be good for stem cells is because cocoa beans are packed with flavonols,
Which are?
a type of antioxidant. They've been linked to improved blood circulation, and they can actually stimulate the growth factors that help stem cells thrive.
Wow, so a little bit of dark chocolate can actually be a healthy indulgence.
In moderation, of course.
Yeah.
And one thing to remember is that really good dark chocolate shouldn't be overly bitter. If it's too bitter, that could mean the cocoa beans were over-roasted, which can actually reduce the nutritional value.
So it's all about finding that balance between flavor and health benefits.
Exactly. That sweet spot where you can enjoy the taste and reap the rewards.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive into the world of stem cell boosting foods. I've learned so much about how our food choices can directly impact our health and well-being.
Me too. It's amazing how much power we have to influence our own health just by making conscious decisions about what we eat.
Absolutely. And by incorporating more of these amazing foods into our diets, we can give our bodies the tools they need to regenerate, repair, and truly thrive.
I couldn't agree more. It's all about nourishing our bodies from the inside out.
Well said. And for our listeners who want to continue their journey towards a healthier and more vibrant life, be sure to subscribe to yourhealthfacts.com. You'll find a wealth of information and resources to support your well-being.